Okay, hello guys, welcome back to the Reaper's Candle, and today we are doing a pick a card reading on what are the signs you guys are seeing from God and what do they mean. So yeah, we're just going to get started straight away. Just take a few deep breaths, try to calm yourself down or do some chakra meditation, whatever you need to do to bring yourself in touch with your instincts. And I'll give you some time to pick a pile and then we'll get started. Okay, so we will get started with pile 1 right here. Okay, so pile 1, welcome to your reading, and it seems like there's a lot of cards that jumped out, a lot of signs here. So I'll read them as sign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And I'll try to combine them or, yeah, for there's ones that have 6 or 7 cards. So we'll see how we read those. Okay, so the first sign is you're going to be in an area with a lot of air, a lot of wind flying around, flowing around, maybe even to the point of blowing your hair into your face, and you keep on constantly having to, take it out of your face. Of course, the weather is a little bit cool, but you didn't expect this strong of winds to be blowing. And when you first came to this area, it seems like a dock or something. There seems to be water there. You were just walking perfectly fine. It was nice and a little bit warmth from the sun. And it was basically no wind. And if there was a very slight breeze. Even the water was quite still and just slightly lulling. So this is kind of weird because the wind comes out of nowhere. Okay, so the next one. Woohoo! These are a lot. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video and lay these all out and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm going to read this as a story and I'm going to pick out the cards that pop out to me first. So with this, it seems like you might be running late for something, which might actually give you a little bit of a twinge in the heart. Because maybe you're literally running late for something. There might be someone holding a sign, like a traffic person or someone protesting, and that kind of slows you down, because you would have to wait for the person who's guiding the traffic or the protester to kind of get out of the way. Yeah, and it seems like you might need water. You're definitely grabbing onto your heart though, because it might be racing very, very hard. And you're just trying to make it to work on time. And the reason for all of this might actually be you might have gone out with friends the night before and you got up pretty late, in a very relaxed and calm sense. So that's why this is all happening. Okay, moving on. Okay, and then the third sign is you might have a day where you just feel super dazed, and the feeling that you would get when you're enlightenment, complete relaxation and no attachment to anything. You're just completely relaxed and zen. So there might be a day where you feel like that and you just wander into a park and just sit and maybe just stare out into the open area. Or you might be drinking some coffee or looking in your steel thermos at your reflection in the water inside that thermos, and maybe you're just about to drink it when a bird flies over you, or a bird comes and sits like near your shoulders, or on the bench next to you. There's also a sense of trees being nearby, and a tree like either with apples or some sort of like bloom, or like I can see like small bits of apples. So it's not like it's spring weather, but there is a sense of either blooming or withering here. Yeah, I think it's blooming, so it might be spring where you guys are at, or like the beginning of spring, like the transitioning period where it's still kind of cold, but the birds are starting to come back, and fruits and plants and trees are starting to bloom again. Yeah. Okay, and then you've got the fourth sign is over here. So you guys might be having a lot of dreams where a lot of people are praising you, maybe for your prettiness or for your accomplishments. It seems like a very positive dream. And in reality, there might be someone that you call like a best friend, or someone that you feel really close to that would actually be giving you a lot of support and protecting you against anyone who might want to hurt you, because of your innocent and sweet nature. And there's this idea of like perhaps like a marriage proposal, or someone maybe trying to trick you with a marriage proposal. There's a lot of big birds here. So you guys might see like a painting of a heron, or like a swan, some sort of duck like that. And like right now I'm seeing like you're in a very old rustic style house, like with, Persian carpets going down the hall, dark wood flooring, dimly lit hallways, green wallpapering. It's very like 1800s Victorian Edwardian sort of, like a Gothic sort of mansion. And it seems like you guys might see the painting over there. And it's going to, for some reason, make you stop in your tracks and resonate with the painting. I'm not sure why, but there's definitely this idea of reflection. And it seems like the painting really calls out to you. So you just end up kind of like staring at it for quite a few minutes. You may not even have a sense of the time until someone calls you out. And then you kind of have to leave it behind, but I think you might take a picture with you to kind of keep on looking at it and cherish it for later. Yeah. Okay, and the last sign is that you might actually accidentally end up bumping into someone on the street, like while you're turning around, either for like around a corner, or you're going for some coffee, like exiting the coffee shop or something, and you bump into someone. It doesn't seem like you quite completely bump into them. It seems like you stop yourself before you actually end up doing that, and they also kind of pull themselves back, just before you guys can actually collide. But that does make you guys both make eye contact, and it might make you start to think like if he's the one or not. Yeah. Seems like he might have like a pen or a notebook or some sort in his hand, which is what he was just like. He was like finishing writing something on his notebook um, before he looked up and almost bumped into you and then pulled himself back a little bit when you came out. And for you, it seems like you might have been counting cash before you looked up and then saw him. Or just have like loose change in your hand or something. You might have just had a coffee in your hand as well, so that's also coming through. But yeah, there's definitely an idea of almost bumping into someone and both of you guys kind of pulling back at the last moment, but still being close enough to make eye contact when you guys both look up. All right, and then when asking about what these signs mean for pile 1, it basically is saying that it will help you see what the right path is for you. And all of these worries and anxieties of like stressful thoughts of which path should I take kind of, those are going to go away. And yeah, I know this is a really short reading, but it is what it is. Your signs were a lot more than I was expecting. So yeah, it's going to help clarify what path you need to take. So let me ask how it's going to clarify. Okay, so the way that these signs will clarify is that they're going to basically be like green lights that light up when you're on the right path. So when you choose the right path, you're going to start seeing these green these signs bit by bit. And it'll be like kind of like hitting a milestone. So each time you see a sign, it'll be a green light that you're on the right path. So whatever decision you're trying to make right now, make a decision, right? And then see whether these signs show up or not. If they do, then that means that you're on the right path. If they don't, then that means one of the other decisions was the better one. And I feel like they'll happen in this order. So you've got the sudden burst of wind on a calm, like summer day near the water. You've got, what was this? You've got running late for work, and then someone might force you to slow down, and you get like pinches of heart pain. And then you've got contemplating near like a tree, and the bird flies above your head, and you're just kind of zoned out that day and completely zen. And then you've got a lot of dreams where people are complimenting you, a best friend or someone very close that seems to be protecting you from the wrong sort of like marriage proposals because you're very innocent and sweet and trusting. But then there is also an element of seeing a painting with a bird like a heron or a crane in some sort of Victorian mansion that resonates with you, and you take a picture to take it back with you. Like you can't stop staring at it because it resonates so well. And then finally almost bumping into someone while coming out of like a coffee shop or turning around the corner. Yeah. Okay, so pile 1, that is your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was short this time, but my energy was like completely drained this week, so I've just been resting as much as possible, and I finally got enough energy that I had to kind of force myself to make good on the promise that I said for the tarot videos, that I would be uploading every week. So I tried my best. I know I wasn't able to upload it last week, but this week I had to, so I uploaded something. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, thank you, and have a blessed, wonderful week. Bye. Okay, so pile 2, welcome to your reading. And today we are doing, again, what are the signs from God that you are seeing and what do they mean? So you guys have way less signs than pile 1. You guys have 3 signs here. So let me get started and take a look at what they mean. Okay, so the first sign is that you guys might be sitting like at a coffee shop, working on some sort of school project or like an essay or something. It might be the beginning of a semester, and either there will be like a person that just keeps on looking at you, like is hardcore staring at you, and I think it's because they're curious about what you are like working on, because you seem very diligent and they're kind of like a little bit impressed. Or you might just have the general feeling that people are looking at you, so you keep on looking up every once in a while just to make sure that no one's looking at you, because you don't really like to be watched and in the spotlight. There's also this emphasis on the number 19, so I feel like it'll be your 19th birthday, but it could also be like the 19th of the month or 19 days from now when you get this sign. And then with the Erit one, there's very much like an element of scholarlyism. So the person that's looking at you might actually be a scholar themselves, and they might actually be working in the same field that you work in, either as like a TA or a professor. Yeah. Or just overall this coffee shop or this cafeteria, wherever you are, there's like a lot of students or young people that come to work on their projects. It doesn't feel like a library, so it's not that, but it definitely feels like a coffee shop where a lot of students come to work on their projects, and just chill sometimes with their friends or whatever it is. And at this moment, you're the only one working. There might be like one or two more people, but they're like in the back and they're not really like in the highlight or in the spotlight, I guess, like not in the middle. And the rest of the people are just kind of there to chill and chat with their friends. So that's one sign. So the second sign is the Erit 4 in reverse. Okay, something to do with wheat or feather. Okay, I'm focusing in on this. So maybe the second sign is someone offers you bread, or like brings like a bag filled with like cream buns or something like that as like a snack. And this is still taking place at the same area. So it's like later on, one of your friends comes by, and it is like a female friend, so she comes by with like a bag of buns, and she sits down to eat them with you for a little while. She brings the buns for you, and she gets a coffee for herself while you guys take like a small break. And you might even actually explain like there's like a guy that keeps on looking at you. And you might actually also start to talk about how worried you are about the paper or the work that you are doing. And she kind of calms you down and just tells you not to worry so much and just let things happen. And as for the guy, she does turn around to see who the guy is, but I think the guy's either like left already or he's gone to the bathroom, so she can't really see where he is. Or he might even be like reordering. Yeah, it seems like he might be reordering or like ordering something to bring over to you as like a conversation starter. Again, like a cake or a croissant or something like light like that. And then for the final sign, this feels like it's at a completely different place. And again, I'm focusing on the number 14, so it could be on the 14th of a month. It is giving me December vibes. So December 14th. What is the sign? You might be at like a house where they have like that typical like deer head sort of thing. in the hallway. Yeah. And it seems like you might be visiting the house of whoever this person that was looking at you is. So I don't think you guys are, well, maybe. Maybe you guys have already, no. I don't think you guys have officially started dating, but you guys have definitely gone out like for coffee and just to talk about the general subject matter that you guys are both interested in. And so he's invited you over to his like family's Thanksgiving or Christmas party or whatever to have you meet his friends and family. And so it's definitely like this unofficial situation that you guys have going on. And you might actually be nervous about it because, again, like the vibe is definitely of like bringing a girlfriend home to your parents. But your overall situation is not official verbally yet, I guess. And yeah. Yeah, and you guys are taking it more, you guys are hitting it off more intellectually than you guys are romantically. So there is still that sense of like we're still in the friendship stage and just getting to know each other, even though you guys do tend to hang out a lot. And sometimes the actions that you do for each other might be misconstrued as a relationship because those are things that people in relationships do. And I think he already knows that you guys are kind of in a relationship, but I think you are the one that kind of doesn't want to accept the fact or is kind of like shooing the idea off in like, oh no, we're just like intellectually sharing the same passions and trying to make excuses basically for what the relationship actually is. And I think that's also because of your own anxiety or nervousness of like overthinking and all these what ifs. Like, what if it goes wrong? Or what if, we end up in a relationship and then, I don't know, it affects my grades or something like that. So you have like these sort of thoughts. So these are the signs. I'm going to ask, what do they mean? Okay, so these signs are basically showing you that it's a time for you to grow and to be who you want to be. Okay? So take the steps towards the person that you want to become and become more foundationalized like what your philosophy is, what your thoughts are, what your morals and beliefs are. It's an opportunity for you to do that. Yeah, that's basically what I'm seeing. So with choice and regeneration, it's just seeing that it's a time for you to grow and be who you truly want to be. Okay, so pile 2, that is all I have for you. And I know this was definitely like a very short reading, but I've just, like, my energy's been completely drained for the last week and a half or so. So that's why I wasn't able to upload anything last week, but this week I wanted to make sure that I uploaded something for you guys. So that's why I did this reading. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully next week I'll have a longer reading. Yeah. So my sincerest apologies for not uploading. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a blessed, wonderful week. Okay? Bye. Okay, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are doing a reading on what signs from God are you guys seeing and what do they mean. So these are the signs that you guys are seeing. So with the 9 of Swords, I am definitely seeing that you guys are having like a lot of headaches. You guys might have a lot of restless nights where you guys wake up all of a sudden. It could also be due to the headaches where you can't fall asleep easily and then you wake up with a pounding headache. What else? You guys might be having irregular periods. or like blotting happening during your periods. So something about your periods is off. Yeah, so there might be like a lot of stress going on in your life right now. With the second sign, we've got here, you guys might somehow see like a set of older scales that they used to use for like measuring like flour and sugar and then the coins and stuff at what do you call it, at the Pilgrim's General stores. And it does seem like it's in a museum, so it's not being used right now. Or it could be at like one of those places that reenact how people used to live. And so you visit the general store, but it doesn't really look like it's being used. More of like a decoration piece or for use when like occasional use. What else? You guys might see like a white silk scarf. Either you'll be wearing one or you might see one like, I don't know, this sounds really ridiculous, but you guys might see one flying around somewhere in this area. It doesn't even have to be like a completely polished scarf. It could be like a handkerchief or something like that. Or even just like a little rag from like a previous cutting of fabric. Yeah. You might have something on your hands or forcing you to keep your hands back. You might be actually grabbing onto your hand so you prevent yourself from touching things, because you might have a habit of doing that when you are interested in something or you are looking at something. Okay. So these signs are basically saying that there is some sort of danger that will be ahead. So right now when I'm seeing it, it's almost like a story. So you guys will probably have this before you go to this area. And this section might last for like maybe 2 or 3 days. Or it might happen like on the week before the week or the day that you actually go to this place. And when you go to this place, there is something like a dark energy that is coming to harm you or something like that. And so it seems like your instincts are picking up on this before you actually end up going there. It seems like you guys might end up getting injured when you go here, because it seems like you guys might be in the forest or something, and like a bird or something comes out at you very suddenly, and you might fall back and bruise or sprain your like wrists or something. Yeah. And it also seems like whatever this thing is in the forest, it seems like it's more likely to get attached to you and follow you home. Because at this moment you are in a quite vulnerable state, not only from the sleepless nights and the stresses and irregularities of your body, but also with now the physical sprain and injury. Yeah. I would suggest not going there. I would definitely suggest not going wherever this place is. like a reenacting type of place or whatever. Or at the very least, if you do go there, like just don't go into the forest, and especially not alone. Yeah, because there's definitely something waiting there for you. It might not even be for you specifically, just someone vulnerable and weak enough to attach itself to. So yeah, just be really careful. Yeah, and with the King of Swords coming out in the background, there's a vulture in the back right there. So even though you might feel like you're protected and you're perfectly fine and in power, there is definitely this element of something in the back that you're not seeing yet that is trying to basically wait patiently for you to be taken as prey. And I know this seems like a very dark reading, but I'm literally just seeing what I'm seeing. And I always ask God to let me speak and see the truth easily, so that's what I say, whatever I see. And there's this, again, like with the Seven of Pentacles, again, there's this idea of someone kind of sleeping in a vulnerable position, and then there's again this scarecrow in the back, right? And then again with the dark wolf and you in the forest. So there's definitely a lot of imagery of this like predator prey sort of dynamic. Yep. All right, so that is your reading. I will ask what you guys can do to protect yourself and get out of this potential predicament. So to protect yourself from this energy, from over here, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, you can again see this element of, honestly, in all of these three suggestions, basically, you can see some sort of like dark figure that's kind of behind them in the shadows, you know? And there's still like this ominous sort of feeling in all three of these pictures. And then again, you've got vulnerable positions that you are in all of these. Okay. So the first thing you can do is, number one, pay like charity and, do we call them psalms? Charity? Yeah. So basically pay charity to the church or whatever religion you abide by. That is going to help a lot. Plus also read some verses, and specifically if you can write some protective verses down and put them around in your house, that would be really good. Especially like near doorways and windows. It almost feels like you might actually live in the forest, like in a cottage or a cabin of some sort. So I would definitely suggest putting protective verses above the doorways, beside the doorways, like on the windowsills, things like that, to protect yourself. There has to be some sort of protective verses in, no matter what religious book you look into, there is always specific protective verses against like evil energies and darkness. So I would say read and repeat those out loud while you write them down, and then put them around the house. And then definitely give psalms to your religious organization. It feels like most of, I want to say the church, but if you guys abide by some other sort of religion, definitely give it to them as well. Of course, I'm not talking about Satanism or demonic religions or anything like that. I'm talking about the Abrahamic religions. yeah, so Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and even if you like look at the original religions of like Hinduism and other ones, they all tend to have one God, so I think those would be okay too, but I'm seeing church mostly for you guys. So Psalms and protective verses all around the house, and while you write them out, try to recite them as you write them out, because that gives more power with the vibration of the words around your house. And I would even say, like, suggest that you wear these things when you go out, or recite them and blow over you. But I think it would be better to actually keep them on your body before you go out, especially if you're living in a forest right now. With the Seven of Pentacles, it does say to get like a lot of rest and eat a lot of like fruits and vegetables that can replenish your energy. So orange, yellow, and blue or green vegetables. That's what I'm seeing. So anything that replenishes your energy and makes you feel cleansed, eat those things. Root vegetables are very good, like lotus or squash, things like that. And I think it's the season for most of them too, especially in this area that I'm seeing. It seems like North America. So definitely whatever's in season, eat those fruits and vegetables. And make sure to rest a lot. Also make sure to wear like nice, cozy, comfy, and warm clothes to make sure that your body is circulating the blood properly. And then finally with these two cards, it is also saying to take baths. This would be more so like healing baths. So like Epsom salts, herbs or aromatherapy, something like that. So something that helps to relax you and calm you down and put you in a more positive mood. Do those types of baths. Yeah, and definitely, like, I'm getting this again. Stay away from forests and dark places, places where people do not go alone. You can see that this card is like in a cemetery, so don't go there alone. Try to, whenever you go out, try to go out with other people or with your friends or your family. Don't go out alone, especially to like these places. Don't even try to go there. Okay, don't try to go into like the dark corners of the world or like places that seem morosely unique or interesting. Yeah, or even like archaic places like museums and things like that. Try to stay away from those. But like it's okay if you go with a friend, but like outside places, don't go there alone, especially not forests and other such places where you could like easily get things attached to you. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm seeing. So again, I hope you guys stay safe and God protects you all from whatever this thing is. And this thing doesn't even detect you. Like it just flies off and disappears back to hell or wherever it's from. And God doesn't let anyone get hurt by it, or anything get hurt by it. Yeah, and I hope this gave you good information on how to protect you guys. and what the signs might mean. Okay? So have a wonderful, blessed week, and I pray that God protects you from all kinds of evil and negative energies, and you guys are always in a positive state, positive energy, and relaxed and happy and healthy. Okay? Bye.